City Council meeting to order and ask everyone to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The roll, please.
Shower.
Here.
McIver.
Here.
Marquez.
Here.
Kenny. Clistic. Belzak.
Here.
Belkey.
Here.
5 present and 2 absent.
We have a quorum. The next item is questions, comments, and announcements of a general nature. Do any of the aldermen have any comments or questions or anything at this point? Well, I'd like to open it up to the floor also. If anyone in the audience has any questions, comments, we've added this to our agenda as an opportunity for residents in the audience to address the council so they don't have to stay around for the whole meeting. But does anyone want to address the council at this point? Then let's move on to the minutes, the approval of the minutes of May 15th, 2017. Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Shower, second by Alderman Belkey. Any additions or deletions for the clerk? Then the roll, please.
Shower.
Aye.
Belkey.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Marquez.
Aye.
McIver.
Abstain.
Okay, we have 4 ayes, 1 abstention, and 2 absent.
The minutes have been approved. The next item is receiving of communications. Do any of the aldermen have communications to share? Alderman Belkey?
Yes, I received a communication from the manager at Zazzo's Pizza, and the request was to have a change in the liquor license. He's getting more business with catering and third shift workers, so he was going to, per my response, he was going to write a letter to the mayor to put that request in writing.
I did receive it. It's in my inbox upstairs, so I will pass that on to the appropriate committee to review. I recommended not to approve the change in the hours, but I will write up something for that.
Yeah, that'll go to municipal services.
Okay. The reason I chose to not recommend it because of the group of other businesses. If I change this for just this business, all of the other licensees in that is it the H license? Was it the H license?
I don't recall.
I forget what license level it was. Whatever, there's a number of other businesses in that license level, and I just didn't think it was appropriate to change that because it would affect video gaming too. So that will go to the Municipal Services Committee for review. Okay, any other communications to share? Alderman McIver?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I had a couple questions come up over the weekend from relatively new residents in the area who were asking about the fireworks policy for residents in Darien, and I'm just thinking that it might be good to remind people about, either through the Connect or Channel 6 or both, being a month away from 4th of July, regarding the fact that not legal in Darien either. So.
Yes, don't go to Shelton's in
Yeah.
Indiana real quick to get any
Yeah.
fireworks, yeah. We can do that, we can start doing that for sure. We'll do it at our June 19th meeting. Get the word out, and maybe, Chief, you can discuss that at the next meeting.
Sure.
Okay, put that on your agenda. I just wanted to, under communications, I'd like to say thank you to the VFW. They had 2 events, 2 Memorial Day events. One is over at the Clarendon Hills Cemetery that they do with another VFW chapter, and it's very special. And then the one at 11 o'clock over at Darien Community Park was very special. It was the largest group of residents and people that came out to be there to honor our veterans. And for me, it was a bit of a now that I know that one individual that was there that day is no longer with us, I wanted to let the audience know Paul Broccoli passed away on a sudden heart attack this past weekend. He was one of our former Citizens of the Year, and he headed up the Our Lady of Peace food pantry also, a very active member. So he was there at the memorial service, gave him a hug and how you doing, and then just a few days later, he's gone. So as I'm reminded, our time is precious, so you have to live every day. So that's thanks to the VFW for a very moving service. Any other communications? Then let's move to the mayor's report, and it gives me a great deal of pleasure to ask you to consider a motion to approve the appointment of Carmen Soldano to our Board of Fire and Police Commissioners. A motion made by Alderman McIver, seconded by Alderman Marquez. Any discussion? Then the roll, please.
McIver.
Aye.
Marquez.
Aye.
Belkey.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
The motion has been approved. Well, would you come in, up forward and be sworn in?
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Fire and Police Commissioner according to the best of my ability. Congratulations. And if you could please sign this card. And I just had the other one. Oh, here it is, to give to you then. Thank you. Take my pen.
And short succinct signature. I'll never forget it. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Let's move to the city clerk's report.
Just one item, Madam Mayor. The meet and greet with Mayor Weaver will take place on Monday, June 19th at 6 o'clock p.m. here at City Hall in the upstairs conference room.
Let's move on to city administrator's report.
Thank you, Mayor Weaver. One item on the new business, the city council meeting, is the bids for electrical aggregation. We did go out earlier in the week and followed up with actually a bid today, and I'm just getting to that now. And we had approximately 6 bids, and none of the bids this particular time were lower than the price that Commonwealth Edison will be charging. So we had it on the agenda tonight in case the bids were favorable, and they were not. So in essence, it's very simple what happens next. Sometime in August, all the residents' rates will just revert back to ComEd. There's nothing any resident needs to do. It's very simple. They'll get a letter from ComEd, prior to that expiration, just explaining that they're the provider of the electricity again. It was a great program, and it worked and saved the citizens a lot of money, and it's a commodity, so none of us could really, predict what that will be or how many, or if it'll be better again. But the rate for ComEd is good for 12 months. So with working with NIMEC, we'll review that again as we get closer to 12 months out after August of 18, to see if it makes sense to bid. But the bids were not a surprise. NIMEC's been seeing bids a little bit over ComEd now.
Okay. So this is a one-year contract and a guarantee on the price, but we have the option to go to bid again in a year from the time that this one takes effect.
We can go to bid. There's really just a setup time. That's why there's a leeway time if we were to go to bid, where you would have to let residents know, and there's a notification process. But at least for the 12-month period, based on the bids, and I did email this out to the council during the work session. But the bids we had for both 12 months, 13 months, and out to a few years just were not favorable. So we'll watch the ComEd rate.
Okay.
But again, for the residents are concerned, they'll need to do nothing. There's no forms, nothing, other than they'll get informational letter.
Okay. And we'll do our best at communicating with the residents from our end as to the change that will be coming. Yes.
So, Brian, if, the city's going through or has undergone the conversion to the smart metering system, and one of the concerns, I think, by consumers has been that ComEd will actually revert to almost the same kind of metering structure and cost structure that businesses have. where it's, you know, higher during peak times and lower during off-peak times. This particular rate is good for the year. They can't necessarily come in at some point during that 12-month period and say, okay, now here's our new rate structure.
ComEd?
Yes.
Well, they're regulated by the Commerce Commission.
Right.
So whatever rules and regs, I think if there was a federal mandate that caused something, you know, caused a surge in electrical prices, they probably could do something. But again, they're regulated by the Commerce Commission, so it's not likely they would be able to do anything over the next, you know, 12 months.
So that might be, you know, some additional information to include how that relates
Well,
to the
that was
smart
my
metering.
concern,
Yeah.
because we get the reports all the time.
Yeah.
And it's always seasonal,
Yeah.
that their rates change.
Yeah.
Yep. And we are planning, we haven't solidified yet, but the ComEd rep will be out, and he could probably address the rate structure as well as the service in Darien. when
Yeah,
he's
I
out.
asked, Philip Halliburton is still our representative, and he's been probably the best representative we've had of all of the representatives, so I asked that he come forward and do a report for the council. And do we have a date for
We
that?
don't have a date yet. I think he's coming back shortly. He was on kind of a modified work schedule because of
Yes,
he had
maternity
twins.
leave, yeah.
And, but I'll communicate with him. We'll have our second meeting in June. It's highly unlikely we're going to meet the first week in July for the 4th.
July 3rd, yeah,
Yeah, so we'll probably have him out either the June meeting or try the second meeting in July.
okay.
Because I did notice that there's been more momentary interruptions, not long interruptions, but enough to come home, everything's flashing, and that seems to be increased. So I don't know if that's just part of their conversion program, or if other aldermen have experienced that as well, or if that's just in our particular area.
Alderman Klistic had contacted me, and I put him in touch with Phil, but we'll have to address that. I'm not,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
sometimes the quick flickers, we don't get email notice.
Right,
And they're
right.
not, maybe they're below the radar.
Right, right.
Um,
But, you know, they're nuisance, and then
Yeah,
but you do wonder if there's an impact on, you know, all these smart technologies and the surges, and, you know, because sometimes it has been, like, you notice the dimming and so forth, so.
Yeah, I mean, we'll watch for that, and
Okay.
again, encourage residents, any issues with ComEd, always to call it in,
Yeah.
so there's a record of it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, so also, there has been some outages that I've experienced, but I've reported those. So it was going to be interesting to see the report, because it does seem like it improved a little, but yet they're still there. And then I did have that dimming where that was odd, you know, where it's actually working, but it's just
Right, and that's not,
really light,
that's not
yeah.
good for your, like, for motors and things like that on large appliances,
I will
including
let
air
him know
conditioning.
that question in advance, so
Okay.
he'll check with his technicals, you know, the people there.
Yeah, Alderman Klistic did mention that at a previous city council meeting, that he had been contacted by his residents about these issues.
I believe the report is on a calendar year, Mayor. I don't recall, I haven't seen it, but if it's on a calendar year, it won't have some of the recent issues, but so that's why we'll make sure he's up to date with anything since the report.
We're going to 712 per kilowatt hour. What are we paying right now? Is it 6?
644.
That's what I thought. Thanks.
And we'll still get the benefit, because this is, the ComEd rate basically is a rate in effect now, you know, May, in May. So for the rest of the summer, the residents are they'll get a break, because we'll still be with the same company until then with a lower rate.
Yeah.
That's all I had, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to department head information questions. I don't believe there's reports by either of our department heads, but do any of the council members have questions for Chief Thomas or Dan? Then let's move on. I think I saw a report about the tobacco, cheap tobacco on Route 83. That's a remarkable burglary that they had there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's most likely a professional crew that came in, knew to be masked and used gloves and brought their own gear to remove the stuff, so.
Now, you said the report that you sent me was that you had good video, but does it
You
show
can't,
you?
you just see the mask, the hood, the gloves, you can't identify anybody.
Okay, all right, so we're not going to catch these guys anytime soon.
Probably not.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This evening, I'm requesting council's approval of warrant number
161727 in the amount of $55,550.61. Did want to indicate that there's, on page 3, under the Community Development General Fund, there's a total of $400 listed for First Choice Advisors. That's the amount being paid to the Secretary for the Municipal Services Department, Liz Leahy. She's indicated later on, so this seems to be a duplication. We're going to get corrected. The check is not being issued for that, but it does seem to be a duplication in the amount in the warrant there. So I just wanted to call that to people's attention.
So we'll be approving that with the exception of those payments.
There's no check going out for that amount, so there is no duplicate payment.
Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Belzak, seconded by Alderman Belke. Any questions for the treasurer? Then the roll, please.
Belzak.
Aye.
Belkey.
Aye.
Marquez.
Aye.
McIver.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
That warrant has been approved.
Okay, current year warrant number 171803, asking for approval in the amount of $1,207,433.51 from the listed funds, as well as payroll for the period ended May 25th in the amount of $239,304.75, for a total be approved of $1,446,738.26.
Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Shower, seconded by Alderman Belzak. Any discussion on this one? Then the roll, please.
Shower.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Belkey.
Aye.
McIver.
Aye.
Marquez.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
This warrant has been approved. Let's move to standing committee reports. Alderman Marquez.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just to report that the Municipal Services Committee approved the minutes of the April 24th, 2017 Municipal Services meeting and sent those to the clerk's office. And the next meeting is scheduled for June 26, 2017 at 6:30 here in the council chambers.
Okay, Alderman Shower.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Tonight's Admin Finance meeting was canceled due to lack of agenda items, and our next Admin Finance meeting will be held on Monday, July 3rd at 6 p.m. in our upstairs meeting room.
Highly unlikely, but we'll let you know.
Agenda.
Pending agenda
Pending
items.
agenda items, yes. Yes, go ahead.
Or
Alderman
pending
McIver.
city
Thank you,
council
Madam
meeting.
Mayor. The next meeting of the Darien Police Committee is scheduled for 6 o'clock on Monday, the 19th of June at 6 p.m. in the Police Department Training Room, pending agenda items and a quorum, because I can't be there.
Okay. Who else is on your committee?
Me and Joe.
Okay, all right. So speak up soon if you're not going to be there, guys.
Oh, I think we'll be
Okay.
I should be here.
Okay, thank you. Let's move to old business, or, excuse me, questions, comments on agenda related. Do any of the aldermen have any questions, comments on any of the items on the agenda this evening? I think we discussed some of them during the work session. Does anyone in the audience have any questions about any of the items on the agenda this evening? There's a bunch. Most of them are related to the work that we're doing, the work coming forward. Then let's move to old business, and there being no old business, I'll go right into the consent agenda. By law, I do have to mention all of the items that are on the consent agenda. So let's go. Okay, the first item is a motion to grant the waiver to the Darien Lions Club for a temporary liquor license. The next item is a motion to approve the payment of the annual dues to DUMEG, and that amount is $17,680. And the money is going to be used from the drug forfeiture fund, so that's nice to know. The next item is a motion to authorize the purchase of room darkening window blinds from Stowside using Department of Justice award money in the amount of $6,181.38. The next item is a motion to approve the purchase of 2 ballistic shields from Strikers using the Department of Justice award money again in the amount of $11,180. The next item is a motion to approve the expenditure of budgeted funds to purchase 11 tasers, Class 3 times X2. Is that X2? Okay. CEWs from Taser International in the amount of $182.53. The next item is a motion to approve the budgeted funds for consulting services for testing that's for our water system, I believe, in the amount of $10,250. The next item is a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the purchase of one skid steer loader model 26D from Patton in the amount of $50,692. The next item is a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the purchase of one new snow section pusher model ARCT LD 10.5 from Russo Power in an amount not to exceed $6,200. The next item is a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the purchase of one new tilt trailer model JRC split till. I think, do you do this just to make it all tongue twisters? This amount is not to exceed $5,610. The next motion is to approve a resolution accepting the proposal from Advanced Roofing Team to provide gutters and downspouts for our Sally Port and our police department, not to exceed $8,110. The next item is a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the purchase of one new Altech model articulating telescoping our aerial truck in an amount not to exceed $114,693. The next item is a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the purchase of a Vermeer brush chipper in an amount not to exceed $71,756. The next item is a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the purchase of one new trailer model, tilt trailer from A&W Trailers in the amount of $6,103. The next is a motion to approve an ordinance authorizing the sale of personal property owned by the city. We have that information on our website, so I think if any interested parties want to put in a bid on these items, is that possible?
It'll go through the auction service.
Okay, all righty. The next item is a motion to approve a resolution accepting a proposal from Lakewood Painters for the patching and painting of the interior and exterior of our police department in an amount not to exceed $25,160 with a contingency fund of $5,000 for any unforeseen drywall issues. The next item is a motion to approve a resolution accepting a proposal from DeSitter Flooring for carpeting in our police department in an amount not to exceed $43,054.07. The next item is a motion to approve a resolution to enter into a contract agreement with Detroit Salt for the purchase of rock salt in an amount not to exceed $193,241.97. And the next item is a motion to approve a resolution to execute an intergovernmental agreement with the Darien Park District. And the next item is to approve another intergovernmental agreement with the Central Cass School District to be reimbursed on the rock salt through our city purchase. The next item is a motion to approve a resolution accepting a proposal from Ramiro Guzman Landscaping for the removal of existing landscaping and supplying and installation of new plantings as designated for Phase 1 to 3 at the city of Darien, and 1702 and 1710 Plainfield, in an amount not to exceed $40,021.62. And the last item is to approve the resolution appointing Brian Vanna as the Freedom of Information Act officer for the administration. Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Marquez, seconded by Alderman Belzak. No discussion. The roll, please.
Marquez.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Belkey.
Aye.
Shower.
Aye.
MacGyver.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
All items have been approved. Under new business, our first item is a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an amendment to City Administrator Vanna's contract. Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Shower, seconded by Alderman MacGyver. Discussion? The roll, please.
Shower.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to discuss something, because I like to step back a little bit for the residents, because this is one of the subjects that people watch as far as salaries go. So I just wanted to point out that every year a comparison is made for the surrounding communities and what their administrators are paid. And Brian has been averaging about 2% of an increase, which I think is reasonable. We also look at the population of those neighborhood and communities to make sure that it's intact of how big Darien is. Also, there was some times in recent history where Brian took a 0% increase. So he is showing that on occasion that comes up every few years where he puts in a zero amount. And I did want to point out that there were two opportunities that Brian worked on, and one was a restructuring when Scott left the city, and also a restructuring when Paul left the city. So each of those times he moved around some personnel within, and it saved the city money. So in addition to the job that he's been doing, he's also been taking advantage of some efficiencies. So we certainly appreciate that.
Thank you, Alderman Belke. The roll, please.
Shower.
Aye.
MacGyver.
Aye.
Marquez.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Belkey.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
The resolution has been approved. Item B is a motion to approve a resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a private property development stormwater management assistance project for 606, 610, 79th Street, and 601, 613, 617 Honey Locust with J&R Landscaping in an amount not to exceed $16,179.75. Do I have a motion to approve? Alderman Shower, seconded by Alderman Belke. Any discussion?
We discussed this during the work session, but since it wasn't online or being filmed, I just wanted to reiterate that the council as a whole has this program in place and budgeted for it. But during the goal setting session, I'd like to bring this back up just to review the formula of how the reimbursements take place and the amount of money that we set aside every year for these projects.
Note taken. The roll, please.
Shower.
Aye.
Belkey.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
MacGyver.
Aye.
Marquez.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
The motion has been approved. Item C is a motion to approve a resolution authorizing, what?
Sorry.
You know what? Did we take this off the agenda?
Well, yeah,
I-
that would
do
be
we?
removed.
Yeah, this is the motion. We had, let me explain. Item C was on the agenda this evening because our provider, NIMEC, took in bids today for the electrical aggregation program. And it was discovered that ComEd had the best rate. So there is no need for us to take any action on this item because there will be no change. There won't be any real changes for our residents, as Brian explained during the administrator's report. At the end of August is when we go off the current contract with Constellation.
Yeah, there's a few, there's a few different periods of August when residents are getting billed, but that'll be, so whenever they're billed in that time, it would go back to ComEd.
At the end of our contract with Constellation Energy, our residents' contracts will just automatically flow into ComEd. And that's a one-year contract. So let's move on to questions, comments, and announcements of a general nature. Do any of the aldermen have anything to, Alderman MacGyver?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't know if, there have been some residents from Darien following this because it came up when I was at the community center on Saturday, but the gun range that Willowbrook was proposing was voted down at their, I think, May 22nd meeting. So those residents closest to that area that were, and obviously it affects our area as well. I just thought we'd share that information for those that, no more newspapers, we don't have,
Unfortunately, yes.
sources of communication for that.
And Patch used to be so much better at communications, and they've even left us,
Does
I
it-
think.
Yeah, I don't know, does it exist?
Yeah.
It does, still.
Excuse me.
It was used a lot, if I remember correctly.
Comes in handy at election time.
Oh, yes. We have a scout in the audience. I don't want to put him on the spot, but when I spoke to him, he's working on a life badge, and he had to attend a city council meeting to observe as part of the work he has to do on his life badge. And I offered to him that if he'd want to come up and ask us any questions, he is welcome to do that. There was a lot of things that we talked about on our agenda this evening, so I don't know if you wanted to address us at all.
Glenn, come on, you sure?
And I don't want to put you on the spot either, so, but
I'll do
thank
it
you.
for you, buddy.
Thank you.
You were supposed to listen to see if there was a debate, two sides to an issue, so if you guys wanted to argue about something.
Well, what can we do? Well, let's see.
Is it
Can
Come
we-
in here at 7 o'clock.
Surprisingly, she agreed that
We'll give you a heads up when the next argument's coming
Yeah.
up.
Okay, if there's no questions and comments, yes, Alderman
Just a
Marquez.
reminder, Mike Falco, who's the chairman of the July 4th Parade Committee this year, asked me again to remind the aldermen and the city officials to get in their little blurbs for the parade, if you're going to be in the parade this year. We're about a month away, and so Mike needs that information. Right now, he's got about 48 to 50 entries, and he only had 2 city officials who had sent anything in. So he needs that info.
I thought by now the Lions Club knew. I'm always a last-minute person. Yeah. But at any rate, okay. Hopefully we can all get our information to them. If there's nothing further, then I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn. Alderman MacIver, seconded by Alderman Belke. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
You know, we've missed that